Some of DC's strangest Justice League members were never from the main timeline at all. They came from alternate worlds, bizarre futures, and forgotten versions of reality, yet some of them have designs, powers, and backstories wild enough to outshine famous heroes. And the craziest part is that most fans barely know these League members even existed. If you're into comics and nerd content like this, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Alpha Centurion is one of those DC deep cuts who feels built for a comeback. On Earth 16, Marcus Alias serves as a Justice League member in the self-obsessed world of the multiversity The Just, where the older generation already handled almost every real global crisis. His armor gives him super strength, flight, and energy constructs, while his real edge is still his advanced hand-to-hand combat training, making him feel like a lost powerhouse. What makes him even stranger is that Alpha Centurion was originally created by Carl Kiesel and first appeared during Zero Hour in 1994, tying this alternate League member to one of DC's messiest timeline eras. In The Just, a malfunction during a Justice League combat simulation leaves him with a broken arm, a reminder that even in a world with almost no real danger left, he was still one of the few heroes taking actual hits. Sister Miracle feels like the kind of DC character people would swear was invented yesterday, but she has been around since the Multiversity, The Just #1 in 2014. On Earth 16, Sasha Norman is the daughter of Shiloh Norman and a member of a Justice League world where the older heroes already solved almost everything. That alone makes her stand out as part legacy hero, part spoiled next-generation celebrity figure. What makes her memorable is how weird her only major scene already is. She talks about a techno-virus in her bloodstream and says she has to feel real sadness to kill it, while the Atom is literally fighting that threat from inside her body. Her main listed ability is escapology, which keeps the Mr. Miracle family tradition alive, but the emotional sci-fi angle makes her feel even stranger than most forgotten DC legacies overall. Argus is one of those lost Justice League names that sounds like pure 1990s DC, and that is exactly why he deserves another shot. On Earth 16, Nicholas Kovac is a darkness-powered League member introduced in the Multiversity, The Just #1. His listed powers are superhuman strength and invisibility, but there is a catch that instantly makes him more interesting than a generic powerhouse in the background today. That catch is simple and great for storytelling. His powers only work in shadows. The original Argus also comes from DC's Bloodlines era, where Nick Kovac was tied to the New Blood heroes and worked undercover for the FBI before gaining powers. So even though his Earth 16 version barely gets room to breathe, the concept already has built-in style, limits, and a very specific era of strange DC history behind it from the very start. Bloodwynd is obscure even by Justice League standards, which makes his Earth 16 return such a perfect deep-cut pick. This version appears in the Multiversity and is listed as a member of that alternate league, bringing a supernatural edge to a team filled with legacy heroes and celebrity children. His powers include flight, necromancy, and mystical blasts, giving him one of the strangest power sets anywhere near the League name. The older Bloodwynd is already a bizarre piece of DC history because the name and costume showed up before the true character was fully revealed. His classic powers are tied to the Blood Gem, and that mystical background still fits the Earth 16 version well. In The Just, he even appears during the investigation around Megamorpho's body, which quietly hints that this forgotten hero could work again as a spooky League wildcard. Steel shows how strange Earth 16 really is, because this Justice League member is Natasha Irons instead of John Henry Irons. She appears in the Multiversity, The Just, as part of a world where the older heroes already solved most real threats, leaving the next generation rich, famous, and restless. Even in that setting, she still stands out thanks to her steel armor and kinetic hammer, which tie her to one of DC's strongest legacy identities. What makes her comeback worthy is that Natasha is not just another armored replacement. In the main DC line, she is John Henry Irons' niece and a young tech genius who followed his path into heroism with armor of her own. The Earth 16 version appears briefly, but she gets one of the smartest moments in The Just when she investigates a malfunctioning League android and discovers it was altered with a higher dimensional component. Batlash is such a wild Justice League deep cut that he almost sounds invented for parody, but Earth 18 really uses him as part of its Western super team, the Justice Riders. Official DC material lists him among the Riders protecting that frontier world under Super Chief. His profile is tiny, yet the idea is instantly memorable because this version keeps the cowboy identity while turning it into a multiversal mashup built for a comeback story. What makes him stand out even more is how weird his details already are. His listed specialty is equestrianism, and instead of any Batmobile equivalent, he rides a mechanical horse across the frontier. Grant Morrison later explained that Earth 18's Batlash was meant as a combination of the original Batlash and Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. That is bizarre enough to work, and it gets better when you remember Batlash dates back to 1968. Madame 44 might be the coolest name on this whole list, and Earth 18 uses her exactly the way you would hope. She is one of the Justice Riders, the Western super team protecting DC's frontier world, and her gear already makes her feel like an instant standout. This version carries bracelets, a golden lasso, and rides a mechanical horse, which turns her into a strange Western echo of Wonder Woman without feeling like a simple copy. What makes her even better is that the name already has real DC history behind it. The original Madame 44 was created by Gardner Fox and Gil Kane, and first appeared in All-Star Western in 1961. The Earth 18 version has action beats too, since DC Database says she joined the raid on Fort Savannah that led to Dr. Savannah's death, and later battled and apprehended Two-Face, giving this rider more history than most people would guess. Pow-Wow Smith is easy to overlook on Earth 18, but that is exactly why he works for this kind of list. In DC's western corner of the multiversity, he rides with the Justice Riders, the frontier team protecting a world that stayed culturally rooted in the Wild West, while still pushing forward with strange inventions and larger-than-life heroes. That makes him feel less like a background extra and more like a forgotten League-style concept. What gives him real weight is the legacy behind the name. The original Pow-Wow Smith was Ohiesa Smith, a Sioux lawman created by Don Cameron and Carmine Infantino, who first appeared in Detective Comics 151 in 1949. DC has also highlighted him among its early native heroes, and since the Earth 18 version only has a handful of appearances, he feels genuinely built for a modern comeback right now. That wraps up our look at 8 obscure Justice League members from alternate timelines who truly deserve another chance in DC Comics. Thanks for watching, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below which one you want to see make a comeback first.